gonna drink it like a person.
Soda has been a part of our lives for generations. Whether we are drinking it or seeing our favorite brands on TV, in the cinema, or even in video games, soda has become a part of who we are. However, with so many brands and different types of soda, you may be asking, which is the best? Well, everyone has their personal favorite, but we can tell you which brand is the most popular. Here are the top 10 brands of soda in the US.
It's grape soda.
Fanta.
And all we've done is buy him hats and sodas.
What? It's a bag of Fanta!
Sometimes a soft drink flavor comes about because of a gap in the market, or because of extensive market research by the soft drink company. There is, however, another reason why a soda drink may be released, and that is because the company can't make the original soda. During the Second World War, Coca-Cola had difficulties importing their Coca-Cola syrup to Europe due to a trade embargo with Germany. Because of this, the head of Coca-Cola Germany decided to create a new drink using what he described as the leftovers of leftovers for ingredients. Coca-Cola used all their soda-making know-how and imagination.
You just set sail on the SS Imagination.
Hence the name Fanta, which comes from the German fantasy, to create the next big flavor in soda. The drink became a success, but once the war was over and Coca-Cola had reunited all of its European branches, Fanta was discontinued. However, due to Pepsi releasing several drinks in the 1950s, Coca-Cola decided to rebrand and relaunch Fanta. Now, Fanta is one of the most popular sodas in the world with a variety of flavors.
You know what she could use? A little sip of that drink I invented.
Diet Dr. Pepper.
Professor, is this your only water source? It looks like Diet Dr. Pepper.
During the 1960s, people started to think that their beloved soda may not be the healthiest option to drink. So, soda companies started to come out with sugar-free and diet variations of their brands.
I mean, you sure you want a diet drink? You don't want something with some sugar in it?
While Dr. Pepper had been a popular soda for decades before, it was time to launch a diet version for a new world. Unfortunately, the Diet Dr. Pepper didn't go down with customers too well when it was launched. This probably had more to do with the naming and advertising of the product than anything else. Wanting to stick with a doctor theme, Dr. Pepper released Dietetic Dr. Pepper, which was a bit of a misstep, as many people thought it was a drink aimed at diabetics.
Diabetes?
Diabetes?
Taking the drink back to the drawing board, they renamed it Sugar-Free Dr. Pepper, which also didn't do so well, so they eventually rebranded the whole drink as Diet Dr. Pepper, and the rest is history. Diet Mountain Dew.
I'll catch up. I just want to snag the last Diet Dew.
Mountain Dew has certainly found its target audience in recent years. Diet Mountain Dew is aimed at the same market. The young gamers and extreme sports enthusiasts love to pound back a Mountain Dew or two, so why wouldn't they want a diet version as well? First being known as Sugar-Free Mountain Dew in the mid-1980s, a name change was decided and Diet Mountain Dew hit the world to great success.
It's like printing my own money.
Mountain Dew are experts at bringing out new flavors and adding to their range, but apart from the original Mountain Dew, Diet Mountain Dew is one of their most beloved drinks. While Coca-Cola may be a bigger brand than Mountain Dew, they can't compete with the citrus extreme side of life as Mountain Dew has done. Unless, of course, you would all rather be drinking Mellow Yellow, a soda that Coca-Cola tried and failed to break Mountain Dew with. But Dew fans are loyal and will stick with this brand no matter what.
Thick or thin, I will follow you into battle at any time.
Diet Pepsi.
You telling me that wine is better than Pepsi? No way wine is better than Pepsi!
Another famous diet brand of sodas to hit the top 10 popular sodas in the US is Diet Pepsi. Released back in the early 1960s, Pepsi was one of the first soda companies to really tap into the low-sugar market and appeal to people's new ideas about having less sugar and caffeine in their diets.
Well, look who's ahead of the curve.
Originally tested on the US market as Patio Diet Cola, Diet Pepsi became one of the first diet sodas to be marketed, not only across the country, but throughout the world, and it very quickly became a lot of people's favorite diet soda.
I just love it so much.
Over the years, Diet Pepsi has added many flavors and variations to its diet range, but it's the original Diet Pepsi that is still proving to be the most popular. In fact, this diet soda has proved to be the second favorite diet option in the world. Sprite.
Send this.
Sprite.
Sprite, good.
With the growing success of Fanta, Coca-Cola, their German branch in particular, wanted a new flavor of Fanta to compete with the likes of 7-Up. Using the lemon and lime flavoring, Sprite was born and released into the world in the early 1960s.
And I'll always be grateful for that.
First targeted as an alcohol mixer, Sprite soon found its audience with the younger generation and has never looked back. Often voted as one of the world's favorite sodas, Sprite has introduced a lot of variations over the years to increase its brand and popularity. It's also worth noting that a variation called sugar-free Sprite was released in the 1970s, which is a whopping 30 years before Coca-Cola introduced the popular Coke Zero range. Maybe Coca-Cola was testing the market with Sprite before using their beloved Coke range. Now that is being cautious.
But you can never be too careful.
Dr. Pepper.
I must have drank me about 15 Dr. Peppers.
Out of all the sodas on the market, Dr. Pepper is probably one of the most mysterious drinks out there. Because of its very distinct flavor, Dr. Pepper has an army of loyal fans. However, for anyone that has ever tried this soda drink, it is almost impossible to describe. It's kind of like Coke, but it's not. It's kind of fruity, but it's not. Its difficult to describe flavor has actually been one of Dr. Pepper's best advertising tools, as it plays on the fact that people are unsure about its taste.
What flavor is it? It is neither root beer nor cola. Nobody is sure what flavor it is, and nobody can be sure.
Much like its ingredients, the name Dr. Pepper is a bit of a mystery as well. There are many theories and ideas about where the name comes from, but no one is sure. Some theories suggest that it was actually named after a real Dr. Pepper, while another theory is that the company just used the term doctor as they wanted to give the impression that their drink was healthy and aids in things like digestion. Whatever the actual origin of the name is, or their recipe, Dr. Pepper continues to be one of the most popular sodas in the world, and it has been doing so for over 100 years.
Wow, that's a long time.
Mountain Dew.
Chip, I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew.
While Mountain Dew as a drink and formula may have been around since the 1940s, the fact that this citrus-flavored soda drink marketed itself with the gaming and extreme sports industries was a stroke of marketing genius. Starting out as a mixer for whiskey, Tennessee bottlers Barney and Allie Hartman developed the drink further after people started to drink it without alcohol. Using the term Mountain Dew, they trademarked the name and prepared to change the face of the soda industry.
This invention will change everything.
After a fairly slow start, Mountain Dew was obtained by PepsiCo in the early 1960s. Over the years, Mountain Dew has carved out a niche like no other soft drink company. Not only have they found their perfect target audience, but Mountain Dew has proven to be the masters of advertising in the modern age. With several promotions, such as their Dewmocracy 1 and 2, their Game Fuel line, and their Back by Popular Dew Man promotion, Mountain Dew knows how to get their fans involved with their products and how to create a real buzz. Plus, tying in with popular movies, video games, and of course, Taco Bell only strengthens their brand.
And they're an unstoppable juggernaut.
Pepsi.
Is Pepsi okay?
Is Pepsi okay? Is Pepsi okay?
In the world of soda, there is an ever-ongoing battle for the king of all sodas. Pepsi has been trying to take the crown from Coca-Cola for generations, but more often than not, they just fall short. Starting out in North Carolina in the late 1890s, Pepsi was actually first branded under the name Brad's Drink, named after the creator, Caleb Bradham, who developed it and sold it in his drugstore. He later renamed it Pepsi-Cola from the Greek word for digestion. While Pepsi-Cola started to do well across the country, the effects of the First World War, and in particular the sugar rations, affected Pepsi-Cola to the point of bankruptcy.
I declare bankruptcy!
Being bought out by candy manufacturers Loft Inc., Pepsi had a renewed vigor and one clear goal: to replace Coca-Cola in not only the candy company stores, but all stores nationwide. Coca-Cola was actually offered the chance to buy out Pepsi-Cola on several occasions, and each time they refused. After some serious advertising campaigns and slogans such as Pepsi hits the spot, plus shortening its name and dropping the cola, Pepsi found itself back in the race. The 1980s and 90s were big decades for Pepsi as they tried to take the cola crown from Coca-Cola, with several celebrities and musicians joining their ad campaigns, plus plenty of product placement in popular films like Back to the Future, Home Alone, and Wayne's World.
And it's the choice of a new generation.
Pepsi had found its home among the younger generation. However, even after all these years, it hasn't managed to topple Coca-Cola. Still, many people love Pepsi, and some even prefer it to Coca-Cola, which is why Pepsi shouldn't feel too bad for always being the bridesmaid and never the bride. Diet Coke.
If it goes around 30 times in 5 minutes, you get to have a Diet Coke.
The second most popular soda drink in the US and the most popular diet version in the country is Diet Coke. It may be odd for many people to think this, but Diet Coke is actually one of the youngest drinks on the market. In the early days of sodas, a lot of the big-named brands quickly understood that the world around them was changing. The baby boomers of the 1960s wanted a healthier soda to drink, while the likes of Pepsi quickly churned out a diet version of their popular drinks. Coca-Cola didn't want to. In fact, they didn't want to use their brand Coca-Cola on any drink that wasn't their flagship soda. However, given the social pressure of the people wanting a new low-sugar drink, Coca-Cola released Tab. However, at the beginning of the 1980s, Coca-Cola decided to put their trademarked name on a diet soda, the first time the company had put their name on any other drink since the release of the very first Coca-Cola the previous century.
It's about time.
Thus, Diet Coke was born, and so popular did it become that it blew Tab pretty much out of the market within its first year. Diet Coke quickly found a niche with women and moms. Now, Diet Coke is consumed by all demographics as it continues to be the benchmark for all diet sodas.
We're just a couple of dreamers who set the bar a little too high.
Coca-Cola.
Sweeter, bolder, better.
Was there any doubt in your mind what the most popular soda drink in the US was? We didn't think so. Still outselling all brands that come up against it, Coca-Cola is the most popular and most bought soda drink in the country. There is no doubt that a big part of Coca-Cola's success comes from the fact that they are one of the most prolific companies in the world when it comes to advertising.
So,
Not only have they run many successful commercials, but they also sponsor pretty much everything, from sporting events such as the Soccer World Cup, NASCAR, the Olympics, and many, many more. They also use their brand to sponsor and use product placement in various TV shows and movies.
The days of your wild Coke parties are over.
Well, if by Coke you mean soda.
I do.
It also should be noted that Coca-Cola was the first soda to leave the planet, as it was drunk by members of the Challenger Space Shuttle. Needless to say that the brand and logo are one of the most recognizable in the world, as well as their great-tasting cola. No wonder Coca-Cola has been king of the sodas for so many years. Have another sip and tap that screen for our next great video. Checking us out for the first time? Then take a second to hit that subscribe button and ring that bell to join our notification squad.